Okay, we're good to go there. Let's go and slice it. Thinking about it. It'll take a long time to do that. So let's go and reslice it. 1 day, 2 hours, and 1 minute. It's just simply too long. Let's go ahead and remodify this. That's going to take 215 grams. So let's take this infill down to 25%. See what happens now. That's where it was before, but let's just see what we're looking at here. Slice it. Hours and 56 minutes. Okay. So a couple of things we can do to speed this up. We can go up here and take a look at the speed. We can take this to 50 if we want to. We just realize we start to lose quality as we go too fast. Alright, so what I decided to do was to speed up this process, and we'll see if it works or not, but to print out this toothbrush holder, increase the speed to 50 millimeters per second, and we decrease the infill to 0%. In the process of doing that, I actually increased the wall line count to 3 to kind of stiffen up the walls, and just to kind of see, how this turn out if I don't have any infill in there. It's to still build the supports to support the circular structure and the internal parts that run across the 45-degree threshold for support placement. Anyways, let's go and slice that, and then we'll see how that gets us down to a lower time. So yeah, so that shows us 13 minutes, 13 hours and 5 minutes. So we'll go and set that up and save it, and we'll start printing. This was the final result. Came up with this item right here. And as you can tell, it's a little different than the one that we had picked from the Thingiverse. Turned out with that print time, the amount of time it was going to take, and the amount of material it would take to print that, this wasn't real practical. So I went with this particular toothbrush holder. You can see some of the lines on it, but I actually ran out of filament during the print process. The Sunlu S8 did exactly what it was supposed to, which was stop the print and went to a standby position, allowed me to reload some printer filament. Unfortunately, when I transitioned that filament, it did not do what I wanted it to, so I didn't get to print it like it was supposed to, but it would have continued to print where it stopped. So you can see where it stopped in this particular case. Let me take these toothbrushes out, and you can see some of the lines here. I could have gotten a better print, but I didn't actually have any infill in this particular model. I found that sped up this process, so instead of the 12 to 14 hour print time, this is actually about 4 hours to print this particular item. You can see I did it about 2 to 3 lines deep on the actual shell. So this printed out the shell. There were supports for the internal components here, and it printed up like this. So I had to use a screwdriver to remove the internal components just to get them to pop out. You can kind of see where they were stuck to the print model right here at the top and then at the bottom. So they came out just fine. Anyway, after I printed it, realized I hadn't completed the print, and I looked at it, tried it out with a couple toothbrushes, discovered that it still worked. So I'm actually okay with that. The design actually works, so we're going to keep it like this. It's got some nice what would you call this, some nice dimensional contours here in the front, so we just keep that towards the front. The back looks like this, so it's pretty straightforward. Put this against the back of the wall, and this is towards the front. Pulls toothbrush is just fine. So like I said, this took about, I think it took about want to say 8 to 9 grams of PLA, and it took about 4.5 hours to print. Holds 2 toothbrushes, and it's just fine. It works, it's stable, does okay. So that was the result.